So this is our presentation over something special about sharks. My name is Jenna.
My name's Nancy.
And my name's Kinley.
So a question for you to think about. How do sharks stay afloat compared to fish? So first I want you to meet Bruce. Some of you guys may recognize him from Finding Nemo. So I just want to show you the caudal fins, the pectoral fins, and the fatty liver that the shark possesses, which I'll be talking about more later in the presentation. So, sharks' bodies, like Bruce, are fusiform and streamlined, which means that they have a sleek, torpedo-like shape that helps them swim through the water quickly. Their fins are straight-edged, so they cut through the water. The skin is covered in denticles, which are tiny V-shaped flat scales that decrease drag and turbulence to allow the shark to swim quickly and quietly. The body shape of the clownfish is more blunt. Their fins flare out vertically, which increases the drag. The shape of the clownfish is just not built for speed. Fish are able to move all of their fins.
Now on to movement. As you can see in the image below of the shark, they're actually not moving their fins. They use their whole body to push their fins or to move their caudal fins in order to go forward. So they also move in this S shape. You can see this in snakes as well, but this S shape maximizes the amount of movement that their whole body uses in order to move forward. As compared to the fish, they don't actually some fish don't require their full body to move, such as this pufferfish below. They have things called radials in their fins, which allows them to individually move parts of their fins in this wave-like motion, and this can propel the fish forward. Now I wanted to give some examples from Finding Nemo. So as you can see right there in that clip, Bruce, which is our shark, was using that S-shaped movement in order to move his caudal fin back and forth, which was propelling him forward. And as you can see with Marlin, he is using his pectoral fins and his fin radials in order to move his pectoral fins back and forth and then move forward. Now, let's talk a little bit more about fins, especially in sharks. So, for sharks, these fins are used for thrust, lift, and flexibility. Their pectoral fins are similar to those of plane wings. So, these are shaped in a fizziform or a teardrop shape. This means that they can cut through the water very efficiently, and it also plays a little bit with hydrodynamics to it keeps them afloat. One specialized shark is the thresher shark. So as you can see, their caudal fin is very, very long compared to the rest of their body. They use this caudal fin like a whip whenever they are hunting. Uh, they will zone in on a group of fish and then they will turn very, very quickly and use this whip-like caudal fin to actually stun prey. And whenever the prey is stunned, it takes very little time for them to go in and actually finish that kill and go eat the fish. Lastly, or not lastly, we're going to talk about the skeleton next. Shark skeletons are made of cartilage. That is the same thing as your ears and your nose. If you play around with your ears and nose, you can tell that they're a lot more flexible. This helps sharks get out of tough situations like turning or being in rough environments, compared to a fish skeleton, which is made of bone. So cartilage is going to be lighter than bone. That is not to say that fish are going to be heavier than sharks. Fish bones are very light, but compared to cartilage, cartilage is going to be lighter. Lastly, we're going to talk about buoyancy. Fish are able to stay buoyant with something called a swim bladder. This is a gas-filled sac that is found above all of their internal organs. They get air either from their circulatory system or they get it by gulping it in from the surface, compared to sharks, which have a fatty liver. So these fatty livers are made up of oils. If any of you have ever been playing around in the kitchen with your mom and you see that the oil is sitting on top of the water, that is because oil is buoyant. So they use this buoyant oil in their bodies to help become buoyant and not sink.
Alrighty, time for our activity. So we've been talking about hydrodynamics and the fins of sharks and fishes and how that affects them. So let's put that into practice. And we're going to use paper airplanes for that. So in two teams, or if you just want to make both of these paper airplanes, we're going to make a basic paper airplane for our fishes, aka our merlins. And this is going to look like the paper airplane we have shown right here on the slide. And next for the sharks, for Bruce, we're going to make the sprinter model. So go ahead, pause if you want to make your fish model paper airplane. And then once you replay, I will talk more in detail about how to make the sprinter, aka the shark, aka Bruce. Alrighty, so this is how you're going to make the sprinter. Starting out with step one, you're going to fold the edges along the red here, the red highlighted here, and you're going to follow this arrow and meet it to the red highlight here. This will allow you to have this weird triangle shape. And next, for step two, you're going to fold the edge you just created and make it about 2 finger widths. You don't want it too large, you don't want it too small. And you're going to fold that down. Step three is you're going to fold these edges to edges and you're going to fold it away from you. So you make another weird triangle shape. Step four, you're going to once again fold one side edge to the other edge, following these arrows, and you'll create what looks like a wing, but really you're creating a dorsal fin. And you will be repeating this on the other side. Step five is when you're going to make your first wing or your first fin, and you're going to fold it about 2/3 of the way down to this edge here. Now flip it over and fold your second wing. So once again, fold this down here along this line, and you should get something along this. Maybe a bit more symmetrical than what mine was. Now, I want you to throw your fish airplane, and I want you to observe how far it goes, how fast it goes, and how many turns or flips it makes. Next, I want you to throw your shark airplane, your sprinter that we just made. And once again, observe how far it goes, how fast it goes, how many spins and turns it makes. And I want you to see that the sprinter is going to, while it won't go as far as the fish, it will be much quicker and it will be more agile. Whereas the fish airplane will be more kind of lazily flowing through the air, similar to how a fish would be lazily flowing through the air, thanks to their fin shape. And you would see for the shark shape, the reason why they're able to go so fast is and twist and turn is because of their dorsal fin and the positioning of their fins. That's it for us. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something new about sharks and you enjoyed our little interactive activity.